Alright, go.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to this week's podcast. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about No Man's Sky. This is a game that came out 2016. Obviously, on release, wasn't really that great. But before we get into this video, I just want to, congratulate everyone for being in the podcast and actually getting everything done. So today I'm joined by Rennie, obviously Naz and Anton as usual.
Yes.
And today obviously we're going to be discussing about well, for me, I'm discussing about obviously when the game come out to how it is now, and I want to talk about like all the content inside the game. Obviously, we're going to rate the game. If you guys obviously do go and enjoy this video, make sure to obviously like, share all that stuff. You guys know what to do. Follow us on our social medias, of course. But yeah. Other than that, I guess who wants to start with No Man's Sky?
I mean,
Um,
I'll let Naz go first.
okay, I'll go. Well, No Man's Sky, I've recently purchased, and I've never played this game before, and it's been out for how long? And this game is fantastic, I really enjoy this game because you can, well, like we were discussing it, and like it kind of reminds me of Save the World. It's got a Save the World theme. If you know what Save the World is, that's in Fortnite.
yeah, the ones.
And like you in No Man's Sky, yeah, you're an astronaut, and you have no memory of what's happened. You're trying to find out who you are and where you came from, and you must do like various missions to get to basically it's like part of a storyline. You do all the missions to get past and complete the game. But during your time when you're gaming, you can travel, you can collect resources, and you could fly around to different planets. And I'm
Make your
telling you, yeah,
base.
this game is full up with loads of planets, and you can just visit them. And this game is fantastic, and I recommend it. If you haven't played it, I recommend you play it.
Yeah, it's just basically an infinite of worlds. Like
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure like it's randomly generated, like after a certain amount of time. But I know that like for the first how many millions of planets there is, it's like they're all unique. But after that, I think it's randomly generated. I'm not too sure on that. I could be wrong, but the planets are infinite. There's still the game's been out for like 4 or 5 years now, and there's still people finding planets to this day.
Yeah,
So
literally.
you know,
Exactly.
but yeah. Anyone else?
Yeah, I can go next if you guys want. But yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of time in like No Man's Sky. What, like 20 hours or something? 22 hours or something. And like I remember from the start, like we didn't know what to do at all. Like, and the difference between now, like we've made our own base and like we've got lots of resources and stuff. It's a very fun game. Like, there's different storylines you can go through. There's like the weapon terminals guy. There's the scientist, and like what else was there? There's the I think the just the normal like guy where you just get your quest to expand your base, and
Yeah.
basically the game is very like diverse in terms of what you can do. You can explore planets, you can do quests, you can like research, like different animals and stuff. Like you could just it's just there's lots of stuff you can do. Like there's a lot of lore behind the game as well. Like certain creatures have their own lore. Like you can actually read in the about section, which is pretty cool. And like there's lots of like ways of like playing the game because you don't have to actually like build a base if you don't want to. You can do basically whatever you want in the game. So lots of possibilities.
Yeah, basically, like your possibilities in the game and what you want to do is like basically endless in a way.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a few bugs here and there, but winners are not a game with bugs, so
Yeah.
you
Doesn't
can't
really
really
exist.
downgrade the game for that. Well, unless it's game breaking bugs, then you can. But if it's just like little bugs, not really that bad to be honest. But yeah, Rennie, let's hear your opinion on it.
Yeah, so No Man's Sky obviously came out like 20. Sean Murray, the guy who like made the game, and his creative team, obviously Hello Games, like obviously he did lie a lot about like when it first came out about like how there was going to be multiplayer and that people found out that it wasn't, and how
Yeah.
like it was going to be something like Journey where you'll sometimes meet a person and that was not the case. But what I love about the studio is that they actually like they took time off just to they didn't they finished the game and they it wasn't really in a good state. Obviously, there's a lot of crashes in the game, but they realized like, wait, if we just take a month of just doing the work, we don't post any on Twitter or anything like that. We just work on the game. Like they could have gone on with the EA route where they could have just released the game and then not update the game whatsoever. But they were like, okay, so how do we make this game great? Okay, we know that these are the problems that people have been asking for us. Okay, so let's just keep updating the game until it gets better. And like from now, compared to now to what it was before, it's like it's
Major
an incredible
difference.
game.
Yeah.
Like like the amount of updates that they did, like where like first time when you play the game, you can't even go like meet up with your friends or go meet up with pirate ships that are like not pirate ships, but it's like spaceships
Yeah,
outside.
just the fighter
fight.
things.
And then there's like the other aspect that I really liked is like NPCs were not a lot of NPCs were around, but now there's like so many things to do in the game, and like playing with friends is really fun as well when you're actually sitting there and like multiplayer is available at the start. And like now that they've had like PSVR support and like VR is pretty cool as well. Like made they made such a great comeback, and like it was kind of surprising that it won best ongoing game, which is kind of a shock.
Surprising.
You know,
Yeah.
because the amount of like hard work they had to pull through to even get that award, like and it's like an underdog story where like the whole internet was against the game, but eventually they came out with a win, like with updates and listening to the community, and
Exactly.
yeah, now it's a fantastic game.
Yeah, it was like virtually unplayable before, wasn't it? That's what
Yeah,
they were
now
saying.
it's like,
Yeah, basically, I remember because I got like on release, well not on release, but like a little while after release, and it looked like a good game. It did, but as Rennie said, that they lied about quite a bit, which they kind of did. Obviously, on the release, the game it wasn't like single player was fine. There wasn't really many bugs in single player. There was, but there wasn't like any like kind of like game breaking bugs. There was a lot of like crashes and stuff. If you got like, which is game breaking in a way, but it wasn't like too bad. If you know what I mean, like Cold War, for instance, when that first came out, that game crashed a lot, especially on like old gen. So, but overall, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, like obviously I've had it since a little while after release, and it hasn't been the best, but it hasn't been the worst kind of game. It's just been alright. Yeah, like the game has a lot to do in it. It has a lot of exploring is endless. To be honest, there's a lot of things you can do. There's building, there's gathering. It's a good game if you like that kind of stuff. Adventuring. If you like adventuring, it's a great game for that. To be honest.
The upgrades as well are really good. I have to admit.
Yeah.
Like you can upgrade
It's a
your
great game.
starship and your multi-tool exosuit. Just a lot of stuff you can do.
Yeah.
Serious.
So, if you enjoy that kind of stuff, it's a good game. To pick. It's a good game to play as well. But obviously the bugs, they kind of do get annoying after a while. But there's not really much you can do about that. I'm hoping the game devs obviously sort out some of the bugs that are in the game now. Because sometimes you lose your items or the game will just crash. But yeah, other than that, I wouldn't really say it's a bad game.
No.
I'd probably rate it like a 7 out of 10. The reason why it would be like maybe an 8 or an 8.5, but it's just the bugs.
Yeah, true. I agree.
Like it's a great game. It's just the bugs bring it down quite a bit. So, what were you guys' ratings?
Well,
Anton, actually, I'll let you go first.
well, I mean, I would say 7 out of 10 as well. I agree. We've played it roughly the same amount of time. We've played it a bit more than me, Lee, but at first I thought there was way too many bugs, but once you get past all of that, it's an amazing game. So, go on, Rennie.
Yeah, so I think like in terms of like what I enjoyed about it, I think like if you include like you can obviously play this game offline, you can enjoy yourself just like exploring the planet, and it's like 16 quintillion planets. Like you literally will never run out of planets to visit, and like different planets behave different ways. In terms of the environment, like if there's a storm coming, you gotta hide in your house, and that was really cool. Or you'll see a monster from behind, or like you want to go scan it, and you find out about what kind of home planet he's on, or how he basically like how they survive. But for me, I think the game, yeah, it definitely deserves like a 7 as well, because the only thing that really bothers me is like I wish.
But yeah, technical difficulties right there.
Yeah, I think Rennie lagged out.
Yeah.
Alright, so now just carry on saying what you're saying.
Yeah, rate the
Well,
game, bro.
Well, I would rate the game. I say 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Like
Mad.
the game is fantastic. But there isn't. It's just the buggy parts. Like because I know from when we first played it, like our first home base,
Oh,
or
yeah.
our first planet we had, we
yeah.
built our houses, right, and after it just lagged and all the rocks kept building and we destroyed all of them,
Yeah.
Came back.
spawned back up,
This like,
and then that made us have to move and find another location.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
But to be honest, like I didn't really mind, but like I wouldn't say it's a bad game. This game is really good. Like if you just like accept the bugs that are in it, and once you like get a hang of of everything that's in it, it's all right. Like this game is still enjoyable. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is.
like
Yes.
I love this game. So
Very good game.
Yeah. Well, Rennie, do you want to continue what you were saying?
Yeah, as I was saying, basically, I think the game itself is, it's a really nice game, to play with friends. Obviously, there's a lot of exploration. There's tons of stuff to do. If there's about like 16 quintillion planets, like literally, you're never gonna run out of things to do.
Exactly.
And the other stuff I really enjoy is just hearing the music, or like the first time you ever go to a space station and you go through that portal, and it's really cool to see other players that you've never even met, like, or just people that are around, walking around, just going to different places. And there was so much, like, the economy as well is like outstanding, where like if you find scraps or something, or if you find like little tidbits of information, you can go and sell it,
Yeah.
like gold, or you can even literally just shoot asteroids, and
Yeah, mine
that's really
asteroids.
cool.
Nice.
That's really cool. Like, I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'll definitely rate the game, as you both said, like 7. The only reason I would say that why I wouldn't put it lower, or why would I put it like higher, is because I have actually seen a couple pop-ins or like glitches that I've seen from the distance. But obviously, I don't know if that's just my base PS4, or if that's just if other people have seen it. The other thing is, I wish that, like, if I want to send someone something, I have to literally be next to them and then send them that way. I can't actually like send them like directly. And the other thing is like you can't send people invites the second time around, or like you can't, matchmaking's a bit off. But I wish that could be a little bit improved. But everything else is calm. Like the game is really great.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say there's a lot of visual bugs in the game, and actual physical bugs as well. But I feel like the visual bugs, take over the the actual bugs in the game. So yeah, is everyone done with how they rate the game? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
pretty much good there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining to this episode. If you guys did enjoy, obviously, like, share, all that stuff. Subscribe if you're new. Let us know, obviously, any content you want to see in the future. Ask us any questions or anything like that. But other than that, that's it for us, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast. In a
See you
bit,
guys. Bye bye.
Yeah,